Their eyes are small, their language is cute, their hearts are big. Their food is mostly non-vegetarian, but I'm absolutely loving every bit of it. Travel Locations has finally come to Ni Hao Ma, San Francisco, California. Yes, San Francisco changes colors in almost every 2 kilometers or so. There's Chinatown, Little Italy, Japantown, tucked in different parts. In fact, if you look close, you would realize that even the colors on the electric poles change every 15 minutes. How cool, right? San Francisco is the hipster sister of New York. She's quaint, she's quirky, she's eclectic. Streets flutter like ribbons up and down, holding a new surprise at every steep gradient. San Francisco is the least walk-friendly city ever. I mean, climbing is not walking, right? Yet, I trotted her for hours. Life for people in San Francisco can be so difficult. I mean, they have to go through so many ups and downs every day, quite literally. In fact, I am right now at one of the most celebrated, one of the most photographed and one of the most crooked streets in the world. It's called Lombard Street. There are a lot of people who get puzzled as to why this is so crooked. It's for the simple reason of safety. You know, the naturally steep grade of the street is so steep, as you can see. It can cause a lot of accidents. That's the reason in 1920, a property owner came up with the idea of these scenic switchbacks, as you can see, that will add not only beauty to this particular street, but also increase the safety of pedestrians as they go up and down the street. I thought for a brief moment it would be so cool to have a house here and wake up to these gorgeous views every day. But then, on second thoughts, it would also mean waking up to hundreds and hundreds of invasive tourists every day. But if you want to avoid tourists, then there's a special place for you in San Francisco that even locals don't know much about, huh? So just look up for the intersection of Vallejo and Taylor Street, and that's where this magical place is. Ta-da! So I have to tell you a very interesting story. I was in New York sitting in Washington Park on a bench like this, and this gentleman called Christopher comes and sits next to me. We start talking. He's from San Francisco, and he tells me if you're going to San Francisco, you have to go to this place called In a Cool Breath Park. And when the world is going to Lombard Street, you know, taking pictures, which is nice and beautiful because you have gorgeous views from there as well. But you know, you're kind of struggling to take a picture. You're nudging people here and you're nudging people there. And here, there's absolutely nobody around. As you can see, this place completely belongs to you. It's so gorgeous and so non-touristy. I stood there transfixed, feeling the wind on my face and in my hair, and my eyes just couldn't get enough of the views. And before I left, I made a new friend. What's up, hippie? How are you? How are you, little one? What's up? What's up? Kitupu, Kitupu. And Hippie's such a cool name. Hippie's such a cool name. What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up, little one? From Cool Birth Park, I started walking towards the Pioneer Park. And on my way, I snooped around into people's houses, learning about their favorites, from gadgets to furniture to even their favorite movie stars. Finally, I reached the Quiet Tower, named after a female socialite called Hitchhawk Quiet. She was ahead of her times. She smoked cigarettes and wore pants even before it became socially acceptable for women to do so. I already started liking the tower that offers gorgeous views of the city, including the Bay Bridge, the Alcatraz, and the Golden Gate Bridge. My favorite moment here at the Quiet Tower was when I met the guide in the elevator, who I thought was caught in the wrong job.
So how was it up there, you guys? Pretty lame, right? $8? What a ripoff. I know, like zero visibility, really crappy weather this week. I know. You come up the hill, you wait in line for like an hour, $8, jerking the elevator won't shut up the entire time. man, just awful. Just awful. As you can tell, I'm Koi Tower's head of sales and marketing. Welcome.
Oh my god, he was so funny. He should have been on stage doing some serious comedy. Humor and hygiene. Don't miss these fancy washrooms as you come down the tower. That automatically cleans itself once used. It's amazing how this modern technology blends in so well with the historical gem, the famous San Fran cable cars. I'm in love with the cable cars here in San Francisco. Every time I see these cable cars scurrying about the streets of San Francisco, it feels so good. It's like history is still dominating the modern times. What's even more fascinating is that they are manually operated and the last ones to exist. By the way, in 1954, some stupid mayor tried to replace these cable cars with buses. Like, who would do that, right? But thankfully, this lady known as the cable car lady called Friedel Klusman, along with her citizens committee, saved this cable car system in a narrow vote. I like the women of San Francisco. My camera batteries and storage turned red, capturing these beauties from practically every angle. I must have taken like some thousands and thousands of shots. I really cannot get enough of the fact that the city that hosts the world's most modern head offices, from Twitter to Uber to Pinterest, also has nurtured something as old as this that dates back to 1873. Each cable car ride will cost you $7 and the tickets are available at both Union Square and Fisherman's Wharf. The Fisherman's Wharf reaches you much before you get there. You can smell fish and garlic from a mile, you can hear the wind and the sea crashing on the shore, and the local artists' gorgeous voices ringing the air with a soulful melody. Believe it or not, this place is always abuzz with much more than your mortal senses can ever handle. The place sometimes feels like you're on the sets of Toy Story. And sometimes it feels like you're a character in Sound of Music. There are lots of things to do at Fisherman's Wharf, but do visit the Pier 39, where besides the magnificent aquarium, the lazy sea lions are quite a delight to watch. And if you have any plans of taking some gorgeous pictures of these sea lions, let me just warn you that they might look through you and completely ignore you. And guess what? Sea lions are not the only ones who gave me attitude. Hello. What's up? Look here, please. Come on. Here. Here, baby. Here. Yes. Hi, how are you? No? Okay. And I thought I was turned down only by ladies. Clearly not. But before I left, I found a place where I could spend the rest of my life. Don't miss Find Your Feet at Fisherman's Wharf, which has an extensive collection of some of the world's quirkiest socks. I spent 3 hours at Fisherman's Wharf. I spent 3 hours inside this shop. Please don't tell this to my mom, but I actually spent $320 on these socks. This is also that place where the most powerful man in America is at your feet. There is so much to see in San Francisco. Take care of your jaws because you will drop them often as you take a walk on the awe-inspiring Golden Gate Bridge, soak in the gorgeous views at the Golden Gate Park, and feel a shiver run down your spine as you visit the Alcatraz, the home to America's most dangerous prisoners. And then there's food. I wanted to start my day with the city's most famous coffee, and without even asking, I found one. Phil's Cafe has long queues all day long, and there are no tables here, but only benches where you can make new friends over coffee. Of all the flavors I tried, mint mojito and filtered soul topped my list. In case you're not a coffee person, Well, there are arrangements for that as well. And this was my favorite. I was most amused to meet this North Indian man from Amsterdam making South Indian food in San Francisco. It felt like the global map shrunk into this humble food cart. Besides comfort food, there was also discomfort food. Yep, make sure that you have a mouth freshener as you watch this. And I guess that's the beauty of traveling, right? So the moment you think that you've figured it all and seen it all and eaten it all, you discover a place that serves garlic in practically everything, from their starters to their main course to even their sweet dishes. Yes, I'm not kidding, this is for real. I'm at this place called the Stinking Rose in San Francisco, which serves ice cream with garlic. To put it politely, it was an acquired taste. But overall, I loved the decor and the whole concept of this restaurant. The quirkiness of which left me happy, but stinking for the rest of the day. Thank God there were burgers to save the day. The two most famous burger places in San Francisco are In-N-Out Burger and Super Duper Burger. I'm here at Super Duper Burger, which is a very favorite joint, by the way, of all the locals here in San Francisco, and I'm eating a vegetarian burger. That's the only vegetarian option that they have, by the way, on the menu. What's really interesting is that the patty that you see inside is a mix of vegetables. So there's, of course, cucumber slices, avocado, there's hummus as well, and there's jack cheese also inside. Really nice, really, really nice. Just top that meal with a cookie or an ice cream sandwich from the Baked Bear or the famous eclairs at the Papa Beard Cafe, and that's it. You're ready for the perfect foodgasm experience. And in case healthy eating is your thing, then this is for you. My quest to have some local flavors finally ends here at Basic Cafe. I was just walking down the Polk Street. This is at the intersection of Polk Street and Pacific Avenue. And I was just walking down the street and I saw this, and they serve something really interesting called assi. Now assi is a local dish. Yeah, it's almost like assi to see, wala assi. And assi is a local dish, by the way. It is a South American tree that produces blackish purple berries. And what they do is they make smoothies and bowls out of assi with lots of interesting ingredients and fruits and maple syrup and peanut butter and chocolate and other things. So it's basically like a thick sorbet, and I just cannot wait to dig into some happiness. So let's get going. I never thought healthy could be this delicious and filling. And just like this little bowl, my experience in San Francisco was so satisfying. When I think back, I realize San Francisco taught me so many things. For example, dignity of labor. I met a TV actor who is also an Uber driver and a stand-up comedian who served at a restaurant. San Francisco is not just any other city, it's an experience. It's a place where houses and cars defy gravity, where art and culture fill every nook and cranny, where the maddening maze of life and its crazy chores don't stop a happy dance or a fun moment at work.